So the theme of today's class is just simply, the title is called Forever Young. So it's just a Kriya to really revitalize the pranic energy, get that sort of slumpy feeling out of one. And I don't know if anyone else has been having a little bit of brain fog and just feeling a little bit under the weather. This is a really good Kriya just to help perk you up and just lift your spirits a bit. So let's begin by placing the hands on the knees and closing the eyes. And just take these moments with the eyes closed to withdraw the awareness inward. Start to connect with your breath. Being aware of the flow of your breath, and consciously bring relaxation into the body, into the navel point. You can even bring it into the posture. Be aware of whether the hands are relaxed or the feet are tense, and just do a very brief body scan. And now begin to lengthen and deepen your breath, taking long, deep inhales to the navel point, relaxing the navel, and exhale, draw the navel in, pull the energy up and release the breath. And let's just start to work the breath and activate that pranic breathing. Long, deep inhalation and controlled exhalation. Keep focused on the flow of your breath and bring awareness to the third eye space. Go right into the center of the head. Activate your psychic vision. Imagine as though you're looking up through the crown out into the heavens above. And just above the head, about an inch above, visualize the chakra of the sun. Imagine as you gaze into that chakra, you see a beautiful golden light, 1,000-petal lotus. Don't hold back, allow your imagination to run wild. The breath is still focused, and either on an inhale or an exhale, draw the energy of that sun down through the crown, into the head, into the body, and become that body of light. Allow that golden energy to shine through you. Imagine as though the physical body disappears and you simply are a body of light. The focus of the breath has been released, and you just stay focused on that vision. Imagine that warm energy filling you. And then the image starts to change. The physical form starts to return. You withdraw that energy. You start to pull that light energy in towards the third eye space. The chakra of the sun becomes the size of a small pearl, resting in the center of the head. You gaze at this drishti point you've created, focusing on it. And as you focus on it, you notice that your eyes are slightly tilted up and they're looking a little bit up and back. Stay focused on the drishti as you remove the hands from the knees and place them in prayer. Bring the thumbs to rest against the heart space. Draw the shoulders back and bring a bit more lengthening into the spine. Sit a little back so there's a connection of the sit bones to the ground. Take a moment to find your resolve, your sankalpa. Set your resolve and your intention for your practice. Now take a long, deep inhale into your intent. Suspend and hold, light engagement of Mulabandha. Focus at the drishti and exhale, release and let go. Clearing your mind and the space around you, let's prepare to open the class with our chant, Om Namo Gurudev Namo, as we honor and acknowledge the divine Guru that lives in everyone and everything. And then we'll surround ourselves with a protective mantra at Kurename. Each chanted 3 times. Let us prepare the breath. Take a long, deep inhale. Suspend and hold. Light engagement of Mula Bandha. And as you exhale, pull up on the lock, draw the breath out, engage the navel. Take another long, deep inhale. Suspend and hold. And apply the same lock and movement with your breath. Now, let us inhale to chant. Om Namo Guru Dev Namo. Om Namo Guru Dev Namo. Om Namo Guru Dev Namo. At Gurename, Jugat Gurename, Sant Gurename, Siri Gurudev Ename. At Gurename, Jugat Gurename, Sant Gurename, Siri Gurudev Ename. At Gurename, Jugat Gurename, Sant Gurename, Siri Gurudev Ename. Take a long deep inhale, suspend and hold, light engagement of Mula Bandha, focus at the drishti, and exhale, release. Now release your hands down to the knees. Let's start to move in a small and just a light spinal rotation, inhaling through the front and exhale as you round. You don't have to make the circles very big, just to wake up the body and move it. We're not here for too long and then we'll reverse the direction. Next time you're coming around the front, just take a moment and pause and let's reverse. And take a long deep inhale in center, suspend and hold. And exhale, release. We're just going to move the head from side to side as though you're trying to bring your ear to your shoulder. Just inhale as you come down. Exhale as you come down, inhale as you come up, and exhale as you're coming down. So you're just tilting your head from side to side and you're tying it in with the rhythm of your breath and just getting a stretch through the side of the neck. If you want to, you can take a moment and pause on each side. Inhale, center, and exhale, tilt. And inhale, center. Take a long, deep exhale. And then inhale. And then exhale over towards your left. Inhale towards your right. And exhale towards your left as you turn your head from side to side. And inhale, center and hold. And exhale slowly. Just going to bring the hands, interlace them behind the head, and just going to tilt your head back as though you're leaning into the hands and the elbows are out to the side. Going to inhale, twist to the left, and exhale, twist right. Very relaxed. There's no specified speed, so if you're feeling a little bit more energetic, you can move a little faster, and otherwise you can just move slowly. And inhale, center. And then as you exhale, tilt over to the left, inhale, center, and tilt over to the right. Here we're getting a side stretch. So just allow yourself as you're tilting to feel that stretch through your side body. And inhale, center. Close the elbows in towards them. And then just tuck and roll as though you're coming down, bringing the elbows down. And then inhale, come up and open. And then exhale, bring the elbows in. And as you're exhaling more, just sort of tuck and roll is the best description as you kind of come into a little ball. Inhale, come up, open up the elbows, and then exhale, and then just repeat. We probably have time just for one more sequence. And at the end of that sequence, you're back in your start position. Fingers are interlaced, elbows are open up to the side, and then just release the hands down to the knees. Now we're going to move back into spinal rotation. Inhale through the front, exhale as you round. It doesn't matter which direction you choose. Now you'll notice here the body feels a little bit more open, a little different. So you can make that circle wider, you can come more forward, you can tilt a little bit more back. Tongue is pressed lightly in the roof of the mouth. And reverse your direction. Then take a long deep inhale, come to center, suspend and hold, and exhale, release. Just one more exercise or movement before we go into the Kriya. Just want to activate the body by tapping the body. So you can start by tapping against the chest and the neck, the throat area. So we're just going to activate by tapping. So just in the chest, the throat, and the neck, behind the neck. And let's work on the shoulders a little bit. And then back on the chest. And now let's work on the arms. So you can just cross the arms over one another and then just tap up and down. And then the sides and the tummy, and just under the breasts, on the side of the breast, the tummy and back and the front. And the buttocks a little bit more, hips. And a little bit on the tops of the legs and down the legs, maybe on the feet if you can. The feet are easily accessible. And back through the legs. And then come to a stop, turn the palms to face up, thumb and index touch lightly in Gyan Mudra. Eyes are closed. And just tapping in psychically into that body vibration, into that activation. And not focusing on anything specific, but to just let go. Just surrender into it. And anything that comes up that doesn't serve you, just allow it to pass through. The eyes are closed. And there's awareness of the breath. And we begin our Kriya. So to start with, we're going to come to sit on the heels. If sitting on the heels is not comfortable, then you're welcome to remain in a cross-leg position. We'll just modify for the cross leg, but we're going to show first on the heels. And you can also put a little cushion under you if you find that it'll be more comfortable. Mark is demonstrating, fetching a little cushion. So interlacing the hands and bringing the arms up. Your hands are overhead, the fingers are interlaced, and your palms are obviously they're facing down, so arms are stretched up. And what you're going to do is you're going to lean a little bit back and you're going to lift your knees off the ground, and then you're going to lean forward again and the knees come down. So you just want to actually just lift the knees, you want to pull them up and you want to bring them back down again. And you're going to continue this. You're going to find a rhythm in your motion. Just going to turn on my timer. We're not here for too long, so it's not going to keep you in an uncomfortable position for too long. And even if you can only get the knees just a fraction off the ground, that's all that matters. Bring in the invitation to close the eyes. These sets of Kriyas were given at a women's camp to help uplift and make women feel better and just kind of bring a spirit of feminine energy, a spirit of lightness. We've got about 30 seconds left. And last one, knees come down, arms come down. You can just float them down and rest hands on the legs and take a moment, closing the eyes, long, deep inhale. Let's connect in with our energy space. Engage Mula Bandha, tighten it, pull up on the lock, bring the chin, compress the throat, and draw that energy up. Imagine it coming up through your central column in the Sushumna. Navel point comes in, and breath is out. And then release the tension, release the energy lock, and then come to sit with the legs extended straight out in front of you, and the hands are behind you, palms are facing outwards, so not inward. And it's kind of relaxed, so you want to feel as though you're comfy, you're not trying to hold yourself and it's uncomfortable. You're welcome to support yourself with anything you need. Even leaning against your sofa is perfectly fine. So very simple. All we're going to do is we're going to bend the leg, place the foot flat, and then slide the leg down, and then alternate. Bend it, place the foot flat, and then slide the leg down. So lift up the leg, bend it, place the foot flat, and then slide the leg down. And that's it. Try and find the meditation in the movement. Focus on the flow of your breath. Also welcome to close your eyes if you wish. We have 30 seconds left. And just enough time to do one more. And at the end of that one more, back into your start position, fairly relaxed. You don't have to point or flex the feet, and take a long, deep inhale. Engagement of Mula Bandha, focus inward, and exhale, release. So we're going to stay in this position. And now we're going to alternatively lift one leg and then the other. So you can start with the left, feet are flexed, lift the left leg as high as you can, bring it down, and then alternate. Right comes up and bring it down. And that's all you need to do to coordinate the movement. Got 1 minute left. Be careful not to lift your leg too high. It could have referred pain in your lower back. So just keep it controlled. And as you're lifting, And try and see that you're engaging the muscles throughout the leg, also in the glute muscles too. Almost 30 seconds left. And doing one more, completing that one more. Let's release, move forward, place the soles. Oh, and now I'm getting referred pain in my lower back. It wasn't very good. Sorry, I'm like literally in a spasm. So if you bring the soles of your feet together in Baddha Konasana, I'll turn off the mic just now to endure my screaming. And just take a moment in Baddha Konasana just to release that tension. Be very gentle with it. And I pray tell you haven't also gone into a spasm. And just focus on the flow of your breath. And eyes can either be open or closed. And if you wish, you can move the torso and the body just a little bit forward if you would like to get a little bit deeper into the stretch. But just feel it out in terms of what feels comfortable for you. Long, slow inhalation and controlled exhalation. And then bring the soles of the feet, so releasing Baddha Konasana, bring the soles of the feet flat on the ground, and then just interlace the hands or the arms around the knees. And we're just going to curl into a little ball just to counteract just balancing what we've done. Just tuck the head between the knees and just sort of curl over. Place the head between the knees if it's comfortable. And then you can apply ever so slight pressure of the knees as they touch the sides of the temples. And slowly releasing. So we're going to come back into that same position, extending the legs straight out in front of you. Fingers are facing towards the wall behind you. And this time we're going to alternate the movement with the arms. So as you raise your left leg up, your right arm is going to rise and you're going to bring it back down. And then the same, left arm rises, right leg rises, and then bring it down. I'm just going to sit this one out so you guys can continue. The timer is on. While you continue, I'm just going to adjust my computer screen because the next one we're going to do standing. You've got 30 seconds left. And then completing the one that you're on. You started on the left-hand side, then end on the right, and vice versa, just to balance the sides. And then bring the hands back behind you, fingers are facing outward, and take a long deep inhale. Engage Mula Bandha, take a moment, and then exhale and release and draw that energy up through the torso, through the Sushumna, and release and let go. Just going to bring the knees back in again like we did earlier. So soles of the feet are flat on the ground, and then just bring the knees in, wrap the arms around the knees, and then just take that moment where you drop the head between the legs. You just roll into that little ball, just bringing that relief into the lower back. And now we're going to slowly come out and come into a standing position. So this is a 4-part exercise, and I'll show you the different movements for each of them. And then what we'll do is we'll do them in sequence. And then what we'll do is we'll kind of jump around between them. So I'll call out the different numbers, and then you'll go into those different positions. So position A is hands are on the hips and feet are hip width distance apart. So this is position A. And then B is you just tilt the torso forward, hands are still on the hips, you're lifting the head and you're looking down at the ground. So we're going to do that together. And then C is you release the hands from the hips, you slightly bend the knees if you need to, you relax the head and you find yourself in a forward fold with legs hip width distance apart. And then you're going to squat down and come into a froggy pose, well, into like a goddess squat kind of frog. You can adapt as you need to. Hands are on the hips. So look like this. And then A would be standing. And B would be tilting the torso forward, gazing down at the ground, but the head is slightly lifted. C, release your hands, tips of the fingers touch the ground. Knees are bent. And D, coming into almost a goddess froggy squat. Hands are on the hips. You're going to go through that sequence again, this time holding it for a little longer. Coming into position A, standing, hands on hips. You can close the eyes if you wish, imprinting this specific position into your memory, because I'll simply just call A, B, C, or D. Focusing on the flow of your breath. If you can, close the eyes. Position B, tilt the torso forward. Gaze at the ground, but don't drop the head. Keep the head lifted. Eyes can be closed. Remembering this is position B. And C, we drop the hands down to the ground, bend the knees slightly if we need to, relax the head, you're in a forward fold. This is position D. Sorry, position C. And then drop down to that goddess froggy squat where the heels can either be on or off the ground and the hands are on the hips like this and you're squatting. We're going to hold this squat. And then we're going to come back into A. Now I'm going to call out the different positions. I'm not going to do them with you. So remaining in A, come into position C. Move into position B. Position A. Position D. Position B. Position A. Position D. A. B. C. A. And holding position A, take a long deep inhale and slowly come down into position D. From position D, slowly come back up into position A. Find position B. And position A. And now you may find Shavasana. So coming to lie on your back and covering yourself and just relaxing after that little workout. I couldn't see you, but I know you did great. And just covering yourself, if you wish, covering your eyes. And just taking these next few minutes to totally release and surrender. I'm going to be playing some music in the background as usual, and I'll cue you when to come out.
Rakhe rakhna hare aap variyan, Guri ki peri paaye kaj savariyan. Ho aap dayal manohana visariyan, Sada jana ke sang bhav jal tariyan. Sakat nindak dust kin mahe bidariyan. Is sahib ki tek nanak manne mai. जिस सिमरत सुख होए सगले दुख जाए. राखे रखना हर आप बारियन, गुरु की पैरी पाए काज सवारियन. हो आप दयाल मनोहना विसारियन, साध जना के संग भव जल तारियन. साकत निंदक दुष्ट किन माह बिदारियन. जिस साहिब की टेक नानक मन माहे, जिस सिमरत सुख होए सगले दुख जाए। राखे रखन हार आप बारियन, गुर की पैरी पाए काज सवारियन। हो आप दयाल मनोहना विसारियन, साध जना के संग भव जल तारियन। साखत निंदक दुष्ट किन माह बिदारियन, जिस साहिब की टेक नानक मन माहे, जिस सिमरत सुख होए सगले दुख जाए। राखे रखन हार आप बारियन, गुर की पैरी पाए काज सवारियन। हो आप दयाल मनोहना विसारियन, साध जना के संग भव जल तारियन। साखत निंदक दुष्ट किन माह बिदारियन, जिस साहिब की टेक नानक मन माहे, जिस सिमरत सुख होए सगले दुख जाए। राखे रखन हार आप बारियन, गुर की पैरी पाए काज सवारियन। हो आप दयाल मनोहना विसारियन, साध जना के संग भव जल तारियन। साखत निंदक दुष्ट किन माह बिदारियन, जिस साहिब की टेक नानक मन माहे, जिस सिमरत सुख होए सगले दुख जाए। राखे रखन हार आप बारियन, गुर की पैरी पाए काज सवारियन। हो आप दयाल मनोहना विसारियन, साध जना के संग भव जल तारियन। साखत निंदक दुष्ट किन माह बिदारियन, जिस साहिब की टेक नानक मन माहे, जिस सिमरत सुख होए सगले दुख जाए। राखे रखन हार आप बारियन, गुर की पैरी पाए काज सवारियन। हो आप दयाल मनोहना विसारियन, साध जना के संग भव जल तारियन। साखत निंदक दुष्ट किन माह बिदारियन, जिस साहिब की टेक नानक मन माहे, जिस सिमरत सुख होए सगले दुख जाए। राखे रखन हार आप बारियन, गुर की पैरी पाए काज सवारियन। हो आप दयाल मनोहना विसारियन, साध जना के संग भव जल तारियन। साखत निंदक दुष्ट किन माह बिदारियन, जिस साहिब की टेक नानक मन माहे, जिस सिमरत सुख होए सगले दुख जाए। राखे रखन हार आप बारियन, गुर की पैरी पाए काज सवारियन। हो आप दयाल मनोहना विसारियन, साध जना के संग भव जल तारियन। साखत निंदक दुष्ट किन माह बिदारियन, जिस साहिब की टेक नानक मन माहे, जिस सिमरत सुख होए सगले दुख जाए। राखे रखन हार आप बारियन, गुर की पैरी पाए काज सवारियन। हो आप दयाल मनोहना विसारियन, साध जना के संग भव जल तारियन। साखत निंदक दुष्ट किन माह बिदारियन, जिस साहिब की टेक नानक मन माहे, जिस सिमरत सुख होए सगले दुख जाए। राखे रखन हार आप बारियन, गुर की पैरी पाए काज सवारियन। हो आप दयाल मनोहना विसारियन, साध सुख होए सगले दुख जाए राखे रखना हारे आप बारियां गुरी की बैरी पाए काज सवारियां हो आप दयाल मनोना विसारियां साध जना के संग भव जल तारियां साकत ननक दुष्ट के न माह बिदारियां जिस साहिब की टेक नानक मन माए जिस सिमरत सुख होए सगले दुख जाए जिस सिमरत सुख होए सगले दुख जाए जिस सिमरत सुख होए सगले दुख जाए.
Let's start to bring awareness back. And just start to introduce slight movements of hands and feet. Rotation of hands and feet, clockwise or anti-clockwise. Maybe wiggling the toes and opening and closing the hands. A little bit more movement as we start to just slightly blink open the eyes, extend the arms overhead, interlace the fingers, point the toes, bring the legs together, take a lovely long body stretch. And then let's bring the knees up to the chest, interlace the hands around the base of the knees. And just drawing small circles with the knees, rocking side to side if you wish to. You can even just move the legs a little sort of forward and back, whatever you feel works for you and what your body would like. And then coming to center, you can extend the arms out next to you. You can make a capital T or cactus with the arms. And then just take a moment and slowly allow the knees to just fold over and fall over towards the right hand side. Allow the knees to touch the ground, supine twist, gaze over the left arm. Let's come through center. Taking the moments, adjusting the feet, hip width distance apart, feet are flat on the ground. And then the knees come over to the left hand side and the gaze to the right. Return to center. Let us rub the soles of the feet and the palms of the hands together. And then draw the knees in, nuzzle the nose between the knees. You find yourself in a little ball. And if it feels comfortable and the spine allows for it, just maybe a few rock and rolls, moving the chi energy up along the spine, rocking up and rocking down. And then rocking yourself up into a seated position, cross-legged for the meditation. So the meditation is going to use the same mantra we played during the Shavasana, just to get you familiar with, and I know that you're familiar with the Rakhe Rakanahat. And the meditation is using the energy of the sun, so sun energy, and that would be taking the tip of the ring finger and touching the tip of the thumb. So Surya mudra, as it's known. So ring finger touches the tip of the thumb. Arms are alongside the sort of the ribs and just relaxed. Palms are facing forward and the tips of those fingers are touching. Now, we'll sit here in silence as we listen to the meditation. So no need to chant along, but simply just taking in that mantra again. We're only here for 4 minutes in total. But as you sit in the meditation, because you're activating the sun energy in this mudra, your eyes are closed and you're concentrating on that energy. Concentrate on the sun itself as we do in the beginning of class, but at the same time, concentrate on circulating that sun energy through your structure, both physical and energetic. Don't have a specific pattern to it. Allow it to become its own pattern. I'll put the mantra on again and mute my mic.
Rakhe rakana hare avariyan, Guri ki peri paaye kaj savariyan, ho abdayal manohana visariyan, sadhajana ke sang bhav jal tariyan, sakatin induk dust kin mah bidariyan, this is sahib ki tek nanak manne mai, जिस सिमरत सुख होए सगल दुख जाए. राखे रखन हर आप बारियन, गुरु की पैरी पाए काज सवारियन, हो आप दयाल मनोहना विसारियन, साध जना के संग भव जल तारियन, साकत निंदक दुष्ट किन माह बिदारियन. This is sahib ki tek nanak manne mai, जिस सिमरत सुख होए सगल दुख जाए. राखे रखन हर आप बारियन, गुरु की पैरी पाए काज सवारियन, हो आप दयाल मनोहना विसारियन, साध जना के संग भव जल तारियन, साकत निंदक दुष्ट किन माह बिदारियन. this is sahib ki tek nanak manne mai, जिस सिमरत सुख होए सगल दुख जाए. राखे रखन हर आप बारियन, गुरु की पैरी पाए काज सवारियन, हो आप दयाल मनोहना विसारियन, साध जना के संग भव जल तारियन, साकत निंदक दुष्ट किन माह बिदारियन. this is sahib ki tek nanak manne mai, जिस सिमरत सुख होए सगल दुख जाए. राखे रखन हर आप बारियन, गुरु की पैरी पाए काज सवारियन, हो आप दयाल मनोहना विसारियन, साध जना के संग भव जल तारियन, साकत निंदक दुष्ट किन माह बिदारियन. this is sahib ki tek nanak manne mai, जिस सिमरत सुख होए सगल दुख जाए. राखे रखन हर आप बारियन, गुरु की पैरी पाए काज सवारियन, हो आप दयाल मनोहना विसारियन, साध जना के संग भव जल तारियन, साकत निंदक दुष्ट किन माह बिदारियन. this is sahib ki tek nanak manne mai, जिस सिमरत सुख होए सगल दुख जाए. राखे रखन हर आप बारियन, गुरु की पैरी पाए काज सवारियन, हो आप दयाल मनोहना विसारियन, साध जना के संग भव जल तारियन, साकत निंदक दुष्ट किन माह बिदारियन. this is sahib ki tek nanak manne mai, जिस सिमरत सुख होए सगल दुख जाए.
Bring the hands down. You can rest on the knees, palms facing up, and you're welcome to open and close the hands a few times. If you can, keep the eyes closed and then find stillness. You're welcome to take Gyan Mudra. And just finding that stillness that you had in the meditation and still holding on to that and being in that space. And let's bring the hands together in prayer. Just slightly bowing the head. Take a moment to go within. Find that resolve that you set at the beginning of class. And taking a long, deep inhale into that resolve. Light engagement of the locks and releasing it once more. We close the class in the space with the chant of Sat Nam. As we do, we pull that energy of Sat through the body, imagining as though it strikes each chakra, chanting Nam as it comes out the crown. Repeated 3 times. Let us synchronize. Inhale. Suspend and hold. And exhale, release. Let us inhale to chant. Sat Nam. Sat Nam. Sat Nam. Sat Nam. And thank you for making this time and space for your practice. Have a beautiful evening and day ahead. Sat Nam.
Thanks, Lauren.
Thanks, Janine. Nice to see you.
Behind the camera.
Yeah.
Really deep.
Have a nice evening.